contrast to a proficiency-based kind of 3-point category or 4-point category on a rubric, I love the idea of a learning progression where students are kind of tackling one skill at a time, building on each of those skills to work up to maybe the hardest skill. I often think of analysis as the hardest skill, but what has to come first? Well, we have to like understand what we're reading. Well, before that, we have to be able to like either decode or listen to, a text, right? All of these things kind of go in order often to get to that final piece. So Nicole Dimich, who has her in Design in 5, the second edition is now out, had her on the podcast. Check that out. That drops this month. Has a great template for us. So let's check it out.
Book, this reproducible template, so you can access it for free from her book's website. And here we're analyzing standards and constructing learning progression. So it's a pretty simple template. But when you read through the book, you can actually move through these steps outlined in the chapter to be able to actually define the pathway to achieve the standard. So I have an example from her book that I really appreciate. I'll read the 4 steps first, which I highly recommend this book. It has blown my mind repeatedly. But first, you're going to circle or bold verbs in the identified standards. You're going to underline important concepts, vocab, and context. You're going to sketch out learning goals, including any prerequisite goals and extensions of goals, and then you're going to create this ladder or this learning progression. So here is an example. I think examples are really helpful. So down here, this is for a grade 2 narrative writing ladder. So maybe you start with, I can write about one event. And then in this next rung, I can write 2 or more sequences of events. Okay, so I can actually describe the event and then I can sequence them. I can describe actions, thoughts, feelings, right? Those are even harder and harder as we go up. I can use temporal words. I can show closure with a learned lesson. And then at the very top, there might be not exactly the same number here, but at the very top is I can write a narrative in which I recount a well-elaborated event or short sequence of events, include details to describe actions, use thoughts, feelings, and temporal words to signal event order, and provide a sense of closure. So when we're looking at kind of the CCL standards, we're kind of at the top there. And we have to go like several steps down to be able to say like, well, where does it start and how does it build in order of complexity?
I recommend that book. Going to drop a link to it in the description. I'll also link to Nicole's free resources related to the book. You can get a lot of value out of those and they're completely free and accessible to people. I love this idea of learning progression. So if you're using this, please share. I want to see examples. I want to grapple with the thing. I want to just share with the people who are new to this idea, who are just going to learn in conjunction with all of us. So thank you for doing this work.